So hello, welcome to session 3 of these little videos of relating healthily. And I want to talk today about something I'm calling perceptions. And what do I mean by perceptions? It's how we perceive, how we experience or how we understand what someone's saying to us, whether that's an instruction or a request, or that could be formal or informal, it could be at home or at work. So I'm going to start with a little story. So yesterday I had a really busy day and I said to my husband, would you mind just having a quick tidy around the kitchen? And he said, yeah, I'll do that, that's fine. And when I went into the kitchen, I have to say it was immaculate. He'd taken all the appliances off the work surfaces and he'd mopped the floor and he'd done an amazing job. And actually it was an amazing job. And I could have been quite irritated because he'd actually put all my appliances off the work surfaces and put them away, and I use them every day. However, when my husband heard me say, can you have a quick tidy around the kitchen? That's what for him was a tidy around the kitchen, when actually all I had really wanted was for him to load the dishwasher and wipe the work surfaces. So I'll come back to that in a little minute. And that was a great outcome, but it could have created a problem potentially. So let's rewind a little bit about why might someone interpret what you say the way Richard did. So when we have any kind of experience, we can only experience the world through our 5 senses. And just a reminder, those are sight and hearing and taste and smell and touch. And most of us as adults don't go around smelling and tasting the world, although absolutely we do when we're eating and trying new foods, for example. But in day-to-day kind of communication, we tend to be very drawn or driven by primarily 3 senses. So that's seeing, hearing and feeling. And often that's reflected in the language you use as well. So that gives clues. I'll talk separately about that in a minute because it is interesting and it is related, but it's not directly related to what I'm just going to be explaining to you now. The other thing that happens when we experience our world, when we have any experiences, we filter it through some of the things I've been talking about earlier in these videos. So we hear, for example, or see something, and then we filter it through our values. Does that matter? Is that important to me? What are our beliefs about that? Is it good? Is it bad? Do I want that for myself? And what I'm interested in, and many more things, and it all translates into the behaviour that results as a consequence of that. And so why is this relevant? Well, for a start off, think about your family. If you were to say to your child, tidy your room, if your child then did what they thought you meant by tidy your room, it might be a different outcome to what you meant by tidy your room. So knowing all the many different factors that contribute to them understanding tidy your room. Remember I said in an earlier video, if you want clarity, start with yourself. So if you want your child, for example, to tidy their room, be explicit and say, could you please tidy your room? And what I mean by that is, could you clear the floor, put everything away and make your bed? Now that's a good tip for instructions generally. Try not to give people more than 3 bits of information, otherwise it's overwhelming. So moving back again, remember, it's down to you not only to explain explicitly what you want from somebody and be clear and give them the opportunity to ask questions, but also to stop you going into drama or making an unnecessary mistake because you're not quite clear. If somebody gives you an instruction and you're not sure what they want, so for example somebody says, could you do a report for me? Ask them some questions. Say, what specifically would you like me to include and not include? Or what would you be seeing and hearing that would let you know that this report was exactly how you would want it to be? If you're taking instructions, like yesterday I was taking instructions from a trainer on a course I'm on, And when she asks a question verbally, I'm not, hearing is not a big thing for me. I can't retain things and I can't make sense of them if I just hear them. So think about your senses and your preferences. So when I hear a question, I have to write it down. Then I have to kind of try it on. Does that make sense to me? And then find out from that whether I need to ask more. So either ask the trainer herself or ask my peers when we're actually doing the instruction. Can I just check, is this what you understood by that? And see what the consensus is. So, to recap then, if you want communication to be successful and you don't want to fall out, expect people to understand things differently to how you say them. They will, because they're experiencing it through their own unique world, their own map of the world. That's okay, it's normal, it's natural. So be specific about what you would like people to do. When people are giving you instructions, ask them for more information, ask them for what you need. Just going back to that, what you need, and asking for more information. You know, ask for it in a way that you want. So if someone says something and you don't understand it, you know, ask for what you want. You could say, could you rephrase that? Be aware they might just give you the same repackaged question. Could you ask that differently? Or could you break that down for me? Or could you tell me specifically what it is that you're looking for? Don't be afraid. I often ask a question more than once, up to 3 times if I'm not clear what someone wants. I'd far rather ask lots of questions and say, I really want to just make sure I get this right and I completely understand and get it right, than get it wrong and have to go back and do the work again. So, what's your homework for today? Well, if you want to test this out for yourself and see how this works in real life, ask when you're eating dinner, if you eat dinner around a table, ask your family to, would they like to join in a little activity? Ask them to all think of a horse. And then say, have you thought about a horse? And when they say yes, ask each of them in turn, what's your horse like? And you might ask a couple of questions. Whereabouts is your horse? Does your horse have a size? What colour is your horse? Is it still or moving? Just ask 1 or 2 questions of each person and you'll find that every single person's horse is different, typically very different. Some people have real horses, some people have horses in pictures, some people have toy horses, some people have horses that are moving or still. So this is a great fun way for you to experience for yourself how different people experience a simple question and the range of responses you get to what you think is a really simple question. And then from there, you can take that into your life and recognise that people will interpret the world in their own way, and you can help them to understand what it is that you want from them, or you can ask for what it is that you need for yourself. So I hope this hasn't ended up being too long a video, and yeah, it's been great talking this through with you. And I'll see you tomorrow for, in fact, it won't be tomorrow, it will be next week because I'm away for a few days, and perhaps on drama. So see you soon. Thank you.